Now, do you ever want to manage a team or play a specific competition, but it's just not in the game? FC25 has less real licenses than PES 2019 these days. That's how far in the trenches we are. That's where PC mods enter the chat and bless us with new leagues, new competitions, new teams, never before seen in FIFA and career mode especially. All bases are covered, even down into new formats, including competitions that haven't even played out in real life yet. And trust me, some of these licenses EA will never require anytime soon. From the 48-team 2026 World Cup to the new Club World Cup to Serie D, I'm going to show them off and play with them all today, because these are the best mods that you can download if you want to add new leagues, new competitions, and teams to your FC25. So if you want to do the same at home, I'll leave them all linked down in the description below for you to check out and download in your own time. Now, let's get straight to it. This first mod we have to show comes jam-packed. It's called the Triskele Crucial Patch, and this mod alone adds 6 different completely new leagues to the game. All we've got to do to activate its powers is load up into the game, head on over to load squads, and activate the Triskele Mod Crucial squads, and just like that, ba-bam, we are ready to go. And you could already tell that even this front main menu is a little bit different, kind of harken back to that FC24 look, but we also have some brand new things to explore. But right from the jump, you can tell we've got some brand new leagues and teams to explore. Now, most notably, this is an Italian-based mod, so it focuses mainly on all the Italian divisions, and that's by adding both Serie C and Serie D, the next 2 lower leagues below A and B obviously, and brings them to FC25 with all their teams in all their glory, all the right badges, all the right kits. It's something you're going to get used to a lot today in this video, with all the proper players and all their pictures. Let's just say, for example, Catania. We're going to load up into their team with all their kits there available, the home and away. You've obviously got all the right players, all their 2D mini faces, all the correct formations and coaches. This is just one example to give you a general idea. It's actually crazy how much effort and, you know, all the dedication they've poured into this mod. And look, you've even got youth academy teams like the Juventus Next Gen, where it's like all their young wonder kids before they actually get promoted to the first team. They're actually not allowed to be promoted into Serie B or higher, so that they'll never practically be in the game unless EA actually gets Serie C licensed. But I don't think that'll be happening anytime soon. You've got the likes of Milan Futuro, which again is another academy-based second-tier team that get to play out their games in the 3rd division. And it also gives you some access to new wonder kids who haven't been added into the actual base game yet, like Liberali, who was initially in FC25, then eventually got removed. We've got Camarda, who's yet to make his FC debut. Even Atalanta's under 23s. Yeah, it just opens up so many more possibilities. And again, adds in way more teams that have been removed over the years, but also gives you access to some youth academy teams and under 23 squads. Meanwhile, for Serie D, we go even lower to the 4th tier. And I guess this is for the real Italian football fan diehards. I know it's one of my favorite mods in FC25. And just take a look at this. Chievo Verona. They went bankrupt a couple years ago, had to dissolve, but they are back finally in real life. And now in this Serie D mod, you've got even more teams. And you can already tell that there's more teams and clubs in here than there is for the normal 20 league season. So with every one of these leagues, every one of these mods, I'm going to showcase how they all work and operate in career mode, in manager mode. And once you actually kick off a game with them. I mean, not even 10 years ago, clubs like Siena were in Serie A, and now you find them all the way down here in Serie D. There are some big road to glory storylines to be made here, and you've got the likes of a San Marino team. How have they snuck their way into the Serie D? But here they are. And if you haven't noticed already, pretty much all the players' ratings have just been set to 50 for the majority of these Serie D teams. So the ratings and attributes probably aren't the most accurate. So that's one thing to be wary of, but all the ages, all the faces, all the 2D mini pics are absolutely spot on. And if you're in the mood to load up an Italian save, not only do you have every single manager unlocked in the game, but you now have access to the current suite of Serie C and Serie D managers. They are all here ready to be used, and my god, you get to unlock a whole heap because there are more teams. And the list just goes on and on and on. And for all the Milan fans out there, you might recognize this FIFA legend, by the way, Ignazio Abate, Italian right back who had crazy pace on like FIFA 15. A whole bunch of former players and familiar faces that you might recognize, like Daniele Bonera. Just random ex-players like Daniele Bonera managing the Milan Futuro team. And then of course we switch it up to Serie D. It's glitched out right there. It says the Triskele Liga, but it's actually all the Serie D teams and their managers, so just ignore that little visual glitch. So right here you've got access to the complete manager roster, the complete players and teams roster. And I wasn't lying when I said all of the home kits and away kits have been included. Like, you've got, like, there are no generic kits inside here. I want to get through them as quickly as possible. We're kind of speedrunning this thing because we've got so many new teams and leagues to get through, but this is the kind of depth and level of detail you can expect with these mods. I'm only showcasing to you guys the best on the market, and another cool touch that I appreciate is that all the accurate stadium names are included. Even though the stadiums are generic, every team have got their real life stadium names, even the teams in the 4th tier. And here's how it looks loading up into the brand new save. In this case, it's Serie C. You've actually got the official match ball added to the game too, the official league logo, all the right branding. This mod is spot on, and it's up there with one of the best you can find. Here's how it looks. We've got a completely new career mode background with the Triskele Mod branding in the back. And now you're in, you've got it all working, it's ready to go. And the best thing about these lower Italian divisions is that the format, the way they work, the competition structure is completely different. Instead of one league table just with all the teams of the league, you've got all the 3 different regional groups. So you've got Group A, Group B, and C. The way this mod has it formatted is that we've selected Catania and we're in Group A alongside the likes of Avellino, Feralpisalo, Latina, Monopoli, etc, etc, and that makes up 20 teams. And we switch on over to Group B, where you've got the likes of Messina, Ascoli, Benevento, Crotone, and again, that's another own separate regional section made up of 20 teams. And then we have the final Group C, yet again made up of 20 teams. And the way it all works is that whoever finishes first in these 3 separate groups claims promotion to Serie B, and the remaining teams that finish in the top 8 of any of these groups enters into the Serie C playoffs, where there's one final place up for that promotion to the 2nd tier. And you can already see how difficult it is with all these games yet to be played. That happens at the end of the season, of course. And then you've also got the Coppa Italia Serie C, where it's its own complete separate competition, where yeah, it's the Italian Cup, but only the 3rd division teams participate. So it's just another tournament to participate in, another trophy up for grabs, and again, just adds to the realism. However, if we switch on over to other leagues, I believe we can take a look at Serie D. Yeah, we can. Here we go. And just in case you wanted to look lower down the pyramid and see what kind of teams are getting promoted to the 3rd tier, you've got the Serie D standings, which aren't actually displayed accurately. It's just one entire league based up of 32 teams, I think. Yeah, in total, you've got just one huge league trying to battle it out and get out of the 4th tier and climb their way back up to the top flight. So in that case, it is a lot harder. And Serie D gets that exact same treatment with the official match ball, the official league branding plastered everywhere. No types of corners were cut here, people. Now that we're actually managing in the league, we get a little bit of a better understanding. It's actually 16 teams split into 2. So Group A and Group B both get their little spots. Both are regional and both are split apart equally, so it's not just one big tier of 32. And they get their own nice calendar match day branding too, so it gives it a little bit of spice, a little bit of flavor and character to the league. And lads, whilst we simulate to the first game, make sure, if you haven't already, drop the video a like down below, hit subscribe for more awesome FC25 and more football modding gaming content coming your way, and let me know what new new leagues and new teams do you want to see added to FC/FIFA later down the line? Because without modding, none of this would be possible. And here's how it looks on match day in career mode. We're all good, ready to rumble. You can see all the different kinds of kits we're working with here. We've actually got 3 for Catania. They have got a little decent spread, a few too many sponsors for my liking. And the Rimini, the other team, have 3. So, okay, every single club have both their home, away, and third kits added into this mod. Now, how's the match day presentation on game day? That's what we want to see. What's the pageantry look like? Okay, we've got everything up and running, no glitches or any major crashes whatsoever, which is a good sign. The proper match day Serie B ball. We've got the fan graphics, we've got all the banners, all the fan flags in the stadium. So you've got the nice fan graphics included too, which is an added bonus. The accurate and realistic ad boards, and there we go, the Serie C license scoreboard. You've got the proper branding when it comes to that. Not the entire broadcast package, but it adds something special. Ignore the camera angle. I've got like this special low broadcast type camera mod on, so yeah, that's why the game looks a little bit different. But in terms of the stadium, like you've got the Serie C now ad boards in the back, all the accurate and authentic graphics. The stadium ad boards, which again is a nice little touch. You've got the DAZN TV logo in the top right. Again, another accurate, realistic detail. And we transition through. You've got the nice Serie B TV overlay as well. It's the Italian football fans. We are eating good out here. And just like that, the Italian lower leagues are now in FC25. Sim to the end, and it's a nice, comfortable 2-1 win. Hopefully start a promotion push. You also get the official league account tweeting in the social media area right here. For example, the Serie G team of the week, which again is another nice cool touch, because I must preface that this mod is paid for, but hey, it is worth the money with what I'm about to show you. Bro, this mod even includes the accurate real-life trophies involved too. So for the Coppa Italia Serie C between Pro Patria and Triestina, they're going to be battling it out. Any old generic trophy, but the actual real thing. That must mean they've got all the proper trophies involved, but because we didn't win the league over in Group A, we came through in 8th, still good enough to qualify for the playoffs, and this is just a look at the first round. This is how many teams are competing for one single promotion spot. Another nice detail is that all the new kits have the actual proper sleeve patch, or the league patch I should say, on the sleeve, which just tops it off ever so nicely. And don't the real trophies look good in all their authentic details? There's a nice little close-up of it there that just improve the authenticity. And take a look at these playoffs, man. The Serie C, they're known as one of the most brutal promotion playoff systems in world football, and for good reason, as it's Ascoli to win the final, a 2-legged affair on aggregate 3-1. So they are the 3rd and final team to gain promotion to Serie B, alongside Triestina, the Dolphins of Pescara, and the mighty Avellino. Meanwhile, here are the best players, the top goal scorer charts for the 3rd tier. We've got Felix Afenagian from Juventus's next gen, who's actually played in Serie A before for Roma and Cremonese, so it makes sense. In terms of assists, we've got a Juventus OG cult hero, Stefano Sturaro, with 11 assists for Catania. What an absolute legend. Now, the Serie D regular matchday experience, it's kind of similar with what you get in the 3rd tier. You're gonna get the same treatment with all 3 home, away, and alternate kits to choose from for every single team in the division. You still get your classic pre-match cutscenes and all of the pageantry before the game with the fans, the stadium. And here's how it looks on match day. You're still going to have that generic EA kind of broadcast scoreboard. However, you've got the league licensing, the official league ball. And as we skip to kickoff, we've got the official Serie D scoreboard in the top left-hand corner, the accurate, some custom and accurate stadium ad boards on the sidelines. But most importantly, you've got that real license scoreboard to make the mod and the authentic game day experience that much more complete. You got the league patch on the sleeve, and that little league transition overlay doesn't go unnoticed either. It's the best lower league Italian experience you're gonna get in career mode, alright? And this is how the season wrapped up with the official standings, and unfortunately this isn't actually the proper Serie D format. It's actually a whole bunch of different groups, so you can right now just see A and B, but but it goes all the way A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to I. So there are nearly 200 different teams making up Serie D in real life. Right here, we've only got 32. So it's not the proper realistic experience, but it's the best we're gonna get. It's unfortunate that you don't get the real life trophies for Serie D. You just get these two generic little silver ball things. And the league name is low-key kind of glitched. So in the 4th tier, things are kind of crazy. It's a little bit of a fever dream down here, but that ain't gonna stop me from showcasing and recommending this insane patch and mod to you guys. That one was a little 2-in-1 combo deal. Now next up, the brand new league. This one's for all the Greeks. That's right, we have got the Greek Super League in all its glory right here, fully licensed, with the proper league logo, all the teams in the right spot. AEK Athens no longer in that rest of world category. We've got every single club in the division, and it is looking complete with the proper badges, with the proper kits, and it again brings over some of those rest of world teams like PAOK, like Olympiakos, and puts them in the correct country. So of course you can play tournaments with them, enter manager and play a career, pretty much do anything in the offline realm. So let's just click on a random team just so you can gauge what kind of treatment you're getting. Panetolikos FC, they have got a man carrying a boulder on their badge. You can't get any more badass than that, and here is the team with the proper 2D mini picks, the correct players, the proper ratings and attributes, and yeah, you've got a full authentic roster to work with for every single team in the Greek top flight. Now I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about Greek football. I'm sure my Greek audience out there watching will be aware and know what's going on. But here is the current manager roster. I don't see any familiar faces. Like, I actually don't recognize anyone here in the Greek management sphere. But this is the Greek Super League manager roster you get to work with. This has got to be one of the most highly requested leagues that, you know, always get talked about, that people want added into the game, and this mod delivers. And here's what it looks like when you load up into the career. And of course, you've got the official Greek Super League match ball. No visual glitches here to report on, but I do have quite a shock. I don't know, I never realized that the Greek Super League was only consisted of 14 teams in total. I was thinking at least 18 or 20, but no, you've only got 14 teams in the top flight. And of course, the champion gets that qualification to the Champions League. The season starts in bloody mid-September and ends in early March, so that's the kind of window the league is in. It's only for about 6-7 months. I don't think there's much of a playoff system / Greek Cup that's included in this mod, so in comparison to the Italian leagues, it's lacking a little bit of depth in that regard. No Greek Cup to report on either, so it's just the Super League you've got to enjoy. And unlike the Italians, the new Greek teams only have 2 new kits to select from, so no third or alternate kits are added, but it's still a decent selection. And here is what you can come to expect on a Greek Super League match day. You've got all the real proper stadium names, which I can get behind. Of course, the stadiums are still all generic, whether you're in Italy or Greece. I think we can just appreciate that we have all these new leagues and teams in FC25. There's your little up close and personal look at the Greek League match ball as all the players roll out. It's time to get this one underway. Unfortunately, generic scoreboard package. It's time to get this one underway. Unfortunately, it's still that generic broadcast package, but we do have the authentic Greek Super League scoreboard. It's nothing too fancy. It gets the job done. It's kind of weird because the base game already has like 4 fully licensed Greek teams. So would it be that hard to strike a deal and get the rights to the league and add, what, an extra 10 teams to the game? I don't think so. This one is like super possible for EA if they just were actually bothered and decided to pull their finger out. And here are the final results of the campaign. You only end up playing 26 matches in the Greek Super League. So there are the final standings as AEK Athens came out on top in one of the tightest title races I've ever seen. Unfortunately, no real trophy to showcase. Just like in Serie D, you get that little silver ball podium. But again, this will definitely cure your craving for some more Greek football action in FC25. And it's the closest you're gonna get until EA actually add it in themselves officially. Potentially, maybe, in FC26. There is no promotion or relegation drama you need to worry about when you're playing in Greece. Just like our next brand new league that this mod adds in, the Serbian SuperLiga. Another one of these leagues where we've had some Serbian teams in the game before over in the rest of world category, so they're no stranger to FC/FIFA. However, we have never had the entirety of the league represented here, with every single club, all the teams, all the badges, and all the kits to show for it, fully licensed and authentic. And I think they've got even more teams in the Greek league. Yeah, 16 teams all up, and here are all the managers that you can select from. All the real world Serbian bosses are here in all their glory with their 2D little mini pick. Sometimes we've had some Serbian teams qualify for European competition. That's pretty much the only time you're ever going to see them in a FIFA game. However, now we have the entire Serbian catalog to choose from, and you know, some teams, the quality, there are some big gaps here. Like, there are some half-star teams. There are also some 3-star teams like Partizan. And of course, you get all the up-to-date kits and real-life stadium names for the 24/25 season. If you're a massive Serbian football fan and you want to see your teams represented in game, this is a must-have. And not only do we get different leagues and teams to play with in career mode, but you get a whole new batch of players and potential new wonder kids, new hidden gems to discover, and it just improves your footballing knowledge tenfold. Right now, we're here with Partizan, and we've got a pretty competent roster that could, you know, try and challenge for the league title, and it's exactly what you want in a football game that strives to be authentic and claims to have the most leagues out of any football game on the market. Let's hope EA can check this one off the licensing checklist, because this would be an absolutely killer league to have officially in the game. Where's Derby Day with Red Star? That's all I'm looking for. That's all I want. And here we are, the Serbian match day experience. Let's take a look and see what the Mozart SuperLiga has in store for us. It's kind of similar to the Greek league in terms of what kits you get added. Only a home and away jersey, so that's something you need to expect before going into this mod. And here is the match day experience again, something we've been used to. You've got the generic EA broadcast packaging, so nothing crazy there. You've got the official league branding on the little presentation boards, the official match ball, yada yada yada. We're used to that by now, but right here after kickoff, we get a decent little look at the Serbian scoreboards on the sidelines of the stadium. We also have a nice little Serbian Super League scoreboard, which isn't anything special, isn't anything amazing, but again, it's better than the generic EA scoreboard. And I'm trying to get closer to these ad boards because they're actually moving and transitioning, and they're actually accurate to what you'd see in real life. Serbian brands, Serbian, you know, advertisements on the side, the actual league sponsor. It's all happening here in the Serbian Super League. If only they could add some kind of pyrotechnics, flares, and, you know, just better match day atmosphere. That would actually be revolutionary. But for now, this is what we've got, the nice little league transition, and that's pretty much all there is to it on match day. Their season at least stretches into mid-April, unlike the Greeks. And there's your look at the generic league trophy. Again, you know, you can't have everything in life. We've pretty much got all the other authentic elements besides the actual silverware, but I'm sure the mod will eventually add it in due course as time progresses. And here's how the league played out here. You play 30 matches, and the champion was of course Red Star Belgrade with 70 points, Partizan up in third, and then the bottom of the table towards the lower end, there is no second tier, so it's all good. There's no real major stakes, just you need that champion spot to get your European football, and we don't have a Serbian Cup involved whatsoever. In terms of the top goal scorers right here, 21 goals for Zahid Nemanja Radonjic, finishing with 20 as well. And in terms of the assist charts, again, we have so many new names, so many new players to actually learn. Of course, if you're Serbian and follow this league, you're going to know most of them. But for someone like me who has never really watched Serbian football before, this is a great starting point and a awesome way to interact with the league and actually learn about it. Again, you gain some elite ball knowledge if you play in these not so popular leagues, and you immerse yourselves in different football culture, just like this next new league, which has been removed over the years, and that is the Russian Premier League, or the Russian Premier Liga. It is back in the game, and so is their senior national team, who have been banned from competing in any kind of competition, whether it's the Euros or World Cup. But in this mod, it lets them back into the game, so you can qualify for any competition. You can play international friendlies, include them in tournament mode, and just have the Russian national team back in action and back participating in the football world. Now, it's actually kind of sad because the Russian league used to be a proper staple of pretty much all FIFA games. Like, you'd always see them in European competitions, whether it was the Champions League, Europa League. It was kind of like the Saudi League or the Chinese Super League before they even became a thing, like offering the older elite players so much money to come play for them, aka Hulk at Zenit St. Petersburg. So many elite ballers like somehow accidentally made their way over to the Russian league up until early 2022 when the Russia-Ukraine war started, and then that's when EA actually removed it entirely. And it kind of sucks that, you know, a real life war and real life politics affected what leagues and licenses we have in FIFA. Like, Miralem Pjanic is at CSKA Moscow. Like, I had no idea that this transfer even happened. He was removed from the game ages ago, but now, thanks to this mod, he's back in action. And here's your list of Russian managers to choose from thanks to this mod. It's nice to get a good visual now that all their mini faces are actually in the game, but I don't recognize any of these managers whatsoever besides Dejan Stankovic. But other than that, these are all pretty much unknown to me. And again, a great way for people to learn about the Russian league, the players, the managers, the teams. They're all here ready for you to manage. And of course, the two kits, again, it's the same similar formula with all the leagues that are added besides the Italian ones. And again, they're all here ready to play with all the teams, all the managers in career mode. It's kind of sad that we don't get the Russian stadiums that were from the FIFA 18 World Cup. I just remember that little DLC add-on made so many different... I just remember that free DLC add-on came with a bunch of Russian stadiums for that World Cup, and now they're just lost to the archives, lost to the licenses. They're probably buried somewhere deep in the code. Knowing EA, they're probably buried somewhere deep in the code, but there was your little look at the league match ball. Here's your look at the league logo, which is just so cold. There's so much aura with that Russian bear just staring you down. And now we're in, ready to manage in Russia for the first time since pre-FIFA 22. And here is how the league works. You've got the Premier Liga standings, and it's made up of 16 teams, just like in Serbia. So I assume it's a 30-game campaign, no promotion relegation included in this mod. It's just the Russian top flight, and no domestic Russian cup either. Ooh, that has got to be one of the most aesthetically pleasing cold match day graphics. Just in terms of the aesthetic in the calendar, like, that is very, very fitting, especially for Russia. Now let's get into a Russian league match day. We've got a pretty bare basics, bare bones kit selection here. In terms of Zenit, they've probably got the best in the league. Very wavy, very vibrant, but it's just the bare minimum 2 officially licensed new kits. And how does the match day presentation hold up? I do believe this is a derby, so we've picked the right game. We're kind of aware with how the mod operates on match day now, so I'm just gonna skip to the scoreboard. We've also got the ad boards on the sideline, which I forgot about, but they're all Russian. And the Russian scoreboard, I mean, it looks pretty similar to the Serbian league and the Greek league, but the major thing you're gonna notice is the ad boards on the side. They're pretty much all the Russian brands, all the Russian sponsorships for the league are there, and really makes you feel like you're playing in Russia. I'm a fan because it gives every league its own aesthetic, its own vibe, especially when you're actually playing a match. And I'd say it's on the same level as the Serbian and Greek experience. This is probably like the bog standard you'd come to expect for a mod of this quality. And I guess I can't really complain because in the base game, in vanilla FC25, none of these leagues or teams even exist. So I think I've just got to be grateful when it comes to that. At least we've got some of the, you know, league bare minimums like the proper licensed match ball, most of the kits, all of the teams. Now let's check for this real trophy, the proper silverware, even though I think it's still going to be that generic silver ball. When's the season end in Russia? Oh, it goes all the way to May. Oh no, it goes to June 1st. This is a proper league. This is what we live for. This is what we want. Here's your little look to how the season wrapped up. We've got our boys Zenit taking home the silver unlicensed generic trophy. The Premier Liga is coming back to St. Petersburg again as Wendell wins Player of the Year. We also have the Russian Premier League Team of the Season, and the official standings are as followed, with us coming through first, 64 points, champions of Russia. And I'm pretty sure that means you get Champions League qualification, or you could enter through the playoffs of the Champions League to get in the group league phase. But yeah, that is the final standings. No Russian Cup to report on. Here were your top goals. goal scorers, the top performers of the season, as we're going to move on to our very next new league. This Triskele Crucial Patch is low-key outdoing itself here because we have yet another major league to report on. This time, coming from South America, it's the Brazilian Serie A in all its glory. Unfortunately, we don't have Santos in there, so Neymar isn't playable with this mod because Santos are currently in the second tier, and this mod only adds in the top flight of Brazilian football, so you're just going to have to deal with that for now. Hey, we've got the likes of and with this league back, we get a truckload of elite ballers and new upcoming hidden gem wonder kids added. The likes of Dimitri Payet back in the game, a proper Barclays man. What about Memphis Depay at Corinthians? And the list goes on and on and on. Now, I'm not going to cover how the Brazilian top flight operates in career mode just yet because I've got two other mods that also add the Brazilian league and I think do it slightly better. There's another completely different paid mod and also a free mod. So two other variations of the Brazilian top flight. Here are all the managers you can look forward to working with. Again, the only one I recognize is Felipe Luis at Flamengo, the former Atletico Madrid and Chelsea player, but as for the rest of them, yeah, I'm not really too familiar. Sorry lads, sorry to all the Brazilian heads watching. I've let you down, but this is one way you can get the Brazilian Serie A back in the game. And when we're talking about the match day in-game experience, this is what you can come to expect. You get some nice visual add-ons that come through. Oh my god, Alexandro, I completely forgot about him too. Here is how it's looking all put together at the Morrocan. We've got the crowd graphics on point, the Brazilian league ball, the official match ball, and yeah, it is looking quite clean. I love the fan banners, all the custom little artworks in the stands. It really makes the fan groups pop and gives every single club its own character, its own artwork, its own custom fan flags and banners, and it just makes the atmosphere come alive. I'm not gonna lie. Felipe Anderson, also at Palmeiras. To top it all off, the cherry on top, we get the Brazilian scoreboard, which again is just another little variation, something different to the generic EA graphics. It's not completely 100% authentic, but it comes with the mod, so you might as well add it on to your experience. One of the final features about this Triskele patch that I want to show off is that every single new league that I've mentioned have also got their corresponding men's national team added into the game. So you just saw the Brazilian Serie A, the Brazilian national team is also included in the mod. So it's got you guys covered on both club level and international level. We've got 04 Euros champions Greece strutting their stuff back in the game. I'm talking about Russia, which we've covered. We've also got Serbia involved in there. They haven't been seen since the Qatar 2022 FIFA DLC. Now, it's only 3 or 4 new nations added, but anything is better than whatever you get with the base vanilla version of the game. So that's a minor W for this mod in particular. And to wrap up this mod package in a nice little bow, you also get some minor Creator Club new features, which pretty much just cater to the Italian lower divisions. In terms of crest, you get a whole lot more to choose from, more lower league Italian teams that just haven't been added into the game. These are some more Serie D teams that the mod couldn't fit in, so you can go ahead and create a team that haven't been involved in this mod. Again, it's a pretty niche feature, but look how many different types of Italian clubs and new teams. You could create Roma City FC. There are so many different variations and possibilities with this one. So again, my fellow Italians out there, I'm gonna point you in the direction of this mod because it covers all bases. It's definitely worth the money. Like, goddamn, I've never seen like any of these badges or club icons before. I guess this is the rest of the, 120 Serie D teams that they couldn't fit into the game. This is where they've all ended up. Not only that, we've got some more lesser known kit manufacturers that are more prevalent in the lower leagues of Italian football, like your Macrons, like Legea, like Kappa, Joe Marivan, some of the lesser known brands that you don't really see too often. Givova is also an Italian kit manufacturer too, so you get some random minor kit manufacturers that you don't see all too often. This is like specifically where the mod caters towards like the die-hard Italian football fans. And just like that, you get given all the tools to make any Serie D or Serie C team you want, and it's just another brilliant feature that this mod can boast about. Now, this next new leagues mod takes us to Africa for the first time today. It's kind of its own separate standalone league mod, and it's got a Moroccan only focus. That's because it's the Botola Pro 1, the first tier of football in Morocco, and it's got all 16 fully licensed Moroccan clubs here, all the authentic and real branding, all the logos, the league logo, the club logos, the kits. It's kind of just on its own though. That's all it comes with. It's just the Moroccan first tier, and that is that. 16 teams, the Botola Pro 1, and of course, once you load up the squads correctly, the Botola Pro 1 squads, you can then feel free to use them in any realm of offline gameplay. Here is the manager's list. Unfortunately, there are no 2D mini picks besides this guy, Zakaria Aboub, and the manager faces don't seem accurate whatsoever. They're just those default faces we used to have back in what, FIFA 17, FIFA 18. So in that regard, the managers aren't quite that accurate or realistic. They've just got their names there, that's about it. You can then go in and customize them, but it's not the most accurate managers roster you're ever gonna see, but hey, it does the job. And I'm just trying to cast my mind back to the last time any African teams or any African leagues were actually playable in FIFA. Like, I do not remember whatsoever. It's definitely a debut for Moroccan teams. I remember there was like a random South African team from a couple years back, but no clubs from Morocco or North Africa. Maybe we might have had an Egyptian team here and there, but this is definitely a first and is only possible with these PC mods. And it looks like what, the best team in the league is FAR Rabat. It's a free mod, lads, so you've really got nothing to lose. And I do believe the creator of this mod has said he will be adding the Botola Pro 2, the second tier, so there will be promotion and relegation in this Moroccan mod. That feature will be coming in the coming days, in the coming weeks, so keep your eyes out for that. As here is how the first tier is looking for now. This is all I've got access to, the 16 team league, similar to both Serbia and Russia, and again, another footballing league, another footballing country that you can learn about in the process. And in terms of the players, how do they look? Do we have photos? Yes, we do. For the majority of them, they've got 2D mini pics, they've got their proper ratings, all their real metadata, and it even goes down to the subs and reserves. It's quite convincing. And considering this mod is free too, I reckon you got to give this one a go, especially if you're trying to cure that itch of African football in career mode. Yeah, we don't have the African Champions League yet or anything of that nature, but again, it's just great to use different teams and experience different leagues, manage all across the globe, and who knows, you might find your next favorite player, your next favorite team. If you're bored of the base game database and just want something different to experience, you want to shake it up, change it up a little bit, this is definitely something you should consider downloading. I've got to say, lads, I'm very impressed. Even your youth academy, you see it reflected there with majority of your talents being homegrown and actually Moroccan. We've got some fire youth academy talents ready to work with straight away. We've got some absolutely fire youth talents ready to work with from the jump. And yeah, look at this youth academy. It's pretty much just either Moroccan, Greek, and then I believe we have one Frenchman. The manager is French for this team, so it makes sense, but you could see the Moroccan vibe reverberated everywhere. And the league begins at the start of the year around that February mark and continues all the way through to December. So it's just cool to learn these different league formats, these different, league structures that you don't really see or experience every day in career mode. Yeah, it's one of those leagues that finish up just in time for Christmas, actually mid-November. Kind of like the Brazilian League and the MLS. Ooh, even on match day, you've got some nice stadium fan graphics in the backgrounds. You've got some, actual fan banners. So that's kind of cool. You got the match ball there, the nice little league podium. I'm actually impressed. For a free mod, it didn't have to go this hard. Even if you just want to try it out for a season or two, I think you'll enjoy this one. You haven't really got that much to lose. It's a no-brainer, really. This is the type of league where I don't really see EA picking this one up anytime soon. So don't get your hopes up for FC26. I'm just being realistic here. Again, PC modding is the only way to make it all click and make add-ons and stuff like this possible in-game. Whoa, hold on just a minute. That is the real Moroccan Premier League trophy, the Botola Pro 1 Championship. It's there in all its golden glory. Damn, okay. We've got the real authentic silverware in this mod too, so that is a major W, man. This mod is actually sick. For all my Moroccan viewers out there, if I've got any, get downloading this ASAP. What a mod. And the trophy actually looks sick as well. Like that looks awesome. It's like Morocco's own spin on a World Cup. I'm a fan, even though we didn't win it. Here is how the final league standings turned out. And this mod, because it replaced the Chinese Super League, it actually gives you a pathway into the Asian Champions League. So there's that, I guess. I know it's unrealistic. I know it doesn't actually make any sense, but it's just the way the mod was programmed, the way it was made. There's no Moroccan Cup or African Champions League to get involved in, but the Asian Champions League is there if you want to just break the rules and just have fun in your save by being a little bit unrealistic. Anyways, it's an awesome mod to get to know Moroccan football, to have it represented in game, and it's definitely something that I'll be using off stream or off video. And it's definitely a mod I want to play around with off stream, off camera. I don't know, there's just that something about African football culture that intrigues me, and this mod has 1000% sparked my interest. Now, with the help of FIFA's FC25 realism mod, now in beta, it's now gone into the beta stage and it's version 3. The update that includes the old Club World Cup format, now rebranded as the Club Intercontinental Cup. As we saw in real life, Real Madrid didn't even have to bother. The Champions League winners were automatically qualified for the final, and they eventually took it home against that Mexican team. Now, I know it's not technically a brand new league, but it's a new cup competition that isn't in the base game, so I thought I might as well go ahead and include it here because, you know, it is something major and it's something to work towards if you want to, you know, take home every single trophy in the world and build out your trophy cabinet. As right here, we've got even the early stages of Al Hilal. They took on Columbus and won 2-1 in round 2. Al Hilal again took it home against Fluminense with a 3-0 victory to get their pathway to the Intercontinental Cup final versus the Champions League winners Real Madrid. And you've got the official trophy picture in all its high definition glory with the official branding, the official logo, and you guessed it, the real authentic trophy up for grabs. I thought I'd include this mod because, yeah, one, it's a great new feature and part of the FIFA Realism mod, and two, it's a license that EA aren't going to get back because it's a FIFA competition at the end of the day, and they've broken up with FIFA over the past couple years, so this one's probably never going to come back to FC. And there's the trophy shining in all its 4K glory. It is looking glorious. And it's stealing the show in this little pre-game presentation. As you saw, we've got the official overlay and broadcast package for it as well. We've even got the sleeve patch that is slightly covering that HP sleeve sponsor from Real Madrid. But it just goes from strength to strength. Just look at what we've got on display right here. The proper branding for the FIFA Intercontinental Cup. And it's even showing the lineups with the proper theme as well. It is just looking on point. They didn't have to go this hard, but they did. And now to take a look at that the scoreboard graphic at the bottom once you kick off, and then that transition into the top left-hand corner. It is sumptuous. Even though it's just like a one-off mini tournament, it's definitely something worth highlighting because, yeah, it's the full package, as you can see. How does the sleeve sponsor work for Al Hilal? I guess, yeah, it works better for them considering it's on the left side of the jersey and not overlapping any of the other sleeve sponsors. But for Real Madrid, it doesn't look the best considering it's like covering HP. But other than that, it's kind of captured the full vibe and given this Intercontinental Club Cup the recognition and, you know, respect it deserves. Even though most teams don't really care about this competition, I know it wouldn't hurt to see this one added into the actual game. And I know you console players wish you could experience this right now. How's the goal scorer pop-up look? That's what I want to see next. And yeah, you got the Mbappe. Okay, yeah, that's alright. At least it's there. No more generic broadcast package. We are in official FIFA licensed territory. And don't show EA or FIFA this. They're not gonna like it. And the fully licensed trophy celebrations, just to put that cherry on top, it just hits so different. Look at them all celebrating the final score, 3-1 to Real Madrid. And they replicate what they were able to pull off in real life. Another Intercontinental Cup into the cabinet, or aka the old Club World Cup format. It's tough when, you know, the trophy celebrations kind of been the same since like FIFA 19. It's pretty much 7 years. And even though it's been the same for 7 years, you still get some random glitches like that. But the podium is set. It's got the logo, it's got that gold shine, and most importantly, the silverware is there looking better than ever. I don't think it's ever been in the game before. Yes, Vazquez is holding it rather sussly. You know, there's some invisible handles he's grabbing onto, but it works. And now you can just let the celebrations commence. Don't ask questions, people, alright? The mod works in mysterious ways. It's always nice seeing like trophies that you've never seen before in-game. It's a perfect layer of detail and something that every new league needs. Does it get carried over into the locker room? Yes, it does. I saw it there just for like a split second in the bottom left-hand corner. Bro, the cup branding is everywhere. It's even on the seats in the locker rooms, on the microphones of the presenters, even in the background of the press conference room. You love to see it, man. Now, there's actually a free version if you don't want to pay for FIFA's Realism mod just to get Intercontinental Cup. I think I got it out right, but it's by a guy called Markov Mods. It pretty much just does the exact same thing. You get the branding, you get the competition, you get all the real data, you have all the proper licensing. It happens in mid-December, but you just don't get the official scoreboards and broadcast package, and you get a generic trophy. So I guess that's a little bit of a trade-off, but it's just nice to have freely installed if you want it involved in your career saves. And honestly, I just think it's a great alternative if you don't want to shell out any cash. So you guys already know I've got you. I'll leave that one linked down below. Now, next up, we've got a world first, an exclusive that no one's ever seen before, the Club World Cup, or the newly branded Club World Cup in FC25, like we've never seen it before. Now, there's two different ways you can go about it and play this Club World Cup, and the first way is through this FCBN tournament mode mod. Think of it as like the ultimate tournament mod expansion, because once you enter through the tournament mode, you're going to be exposed to so many new cups and competitions to play through. Head on over to the domestic tournament section and then click on men's cups, and that's where you'll be brought to this brand new menu. Scroll all the way down to the end and bam, there you go, the FIFA Club World Cup in the United States happening in 2025, or at least the new format slash reimagined version of it is going to be taking place this summer. And I've moved myself out of the way just so you can get a good look at the golden new trophy. It kind of like spins around and all the plates kind of shift. I don't know if you guys have actually seen it in real life, but it is definitely one of a kind, and it kind of like moves and shifts. I don't know, it works very uniquely. It's definitely something we've never really seen before, so it'd be cool to actually see it in game. As the tournament description says, it's a competition that was first contested in 2000 as the FIFA Club World Cup Championship. However, now it's kind of taken this new form, and this absolute specimen of a trophy with the golden glow, it's going to help pioneer this new era of football that FIFA are trying to transition to. Not only that, you get the actual country World Cup, not to be confused, the 2026 World Cup that, again, is being hosted in the United States. You also get the 2024 Euros if you want to replay that and bring back some of that FC24 magic. And you've also got the new and improved Copa America tournament with all the trophies and all the proper branding. But I want to focus right now on this Club World Cup, which we'll load up into. I kind of feel like I'm breaking an exclusive here. We've never really seen it in action or take place in a FIFA slash EAFC game, and here are pretty much all the teams involved. There are a couple teams that aren't actually in the game, so they haven't been added. For example, the Mexican teams like Monterrey and Pachuca. You've got some of the African teams and Qatari clubs that haven't been added also. The Mamelodi Sundowns. I'd say about 4 or 5 teams are missing and have been replaced by some others, like the New England Revolution. They're not actually there this summer, but they've been just here to make up the numbers, kind of like Uslan as well. So of course, you can go ahead and customize it as you please. You can swap teams out, replace a few teams, put in your own favorite club. It's really up to you, but those are the set teams involved in the tournament. And then once you pick your team or teams that you want to control, you can hop straight in, advance, and just be greeted with this beautiful little poster. I love that little entrance into the mode, and boom, just like that, in a matter of moments, you're in there and you can, you know, be involved in all of the FIFA Club World Cup shenanigans. You've got the official logo, the official branding everywhere, and you've got obviously the official format. 8 groups of 4, 32 teams competing, and you get a little sneak peek of it here in tournament mode, but this actually doesn't carry over into career mode. I'll wait to the next mod to show you how it all transitions over, and if you want to take this into career career mode, that is definitely a possibility. You've got your game day hub, you've got the social media, the news feed, you've got your team, you've got your tactics, pretty much everything that you want. It's pretty much just career mode without the transfers or the in-depth stats of your team, but you can still take a look at your tournament stats like the player assists, player top goal scorer charts. But of course, it's what you've come used to tournament mode over the years. It's very bare bones, it's very basic, and once your team's knocked out, you can't actually like see through the rest of the tournament and see who wins it. You just boot it out of the tournament, boot it out of your save, and you can't do anything about it. That's why I've made sure we got to the final here with Barcelona, and we're up against Bayern in the big dance, 20th of July 2025. A very interesting matchup to say the least. This rivalry has been running deep for the past 10 years or so, and you know, even better, you got the trophy mini pick, you've got the actual competition logo in the top left. Now let's see how it all transpires on match day. Another little slight negative with this mod is that, of course, it's just a tournament mode exclusive. It's not compatible with career mode whatsoever, so keep that in mind if you do want to go ahead and download this. And another slight annoying detail in tournament mode is that you can't actually change the stadium you're playing at. So that means it's technically a Barcelona home game, so we're playing at the default generic Camp Nou stadium. I can't do much about that. The tournament doesn't actually take place in America with this mod, so a slight little detail and element of realism not captured there. And we also don't have the official silverware in game, or at least I can't get it working for some reason. You just get, of course, the generic silver ball that we're all well aware of by now. It's there. You've got the competition branding though, so it's just some little thing is off. You've got the trophy mini pick that'll pop up throughout the match and through that tournament tree right there as you load into the final. I'll quickly show you lads what it should actually look like, or what the trophy in game should look like if I got the mod working. And yeah, it looks decent. It looks pretty sharp, not crazy high definition quality or like 4K texture or anything, but at least it does the job right. It's the correct model. You can't really fault it, but I just haven't been able to get this real trophies mod working. I'll still leave it linked down below if some of you guys get to actually activate it and have better luck than me, but that's currently what we're missing. However, graphics wise, what you do get on match day is the stadium ad boards. You can see right there in the middle the FIFA Club World Cup brand in there, so at least you feel like you're playing in a different tournament. You've got some FIFA sponsors and branding in the ad boards too, so again trying to make it feel as authentic and how game days are supposed to look when the tournament actually kicks off. But as you can see, some key components are missing here that I just wanted to highlight, but I'm sure some of you lads won't mind. I just want to get to the official trophy celebrations, but like, imagine if this is Harry Kane's actual first trophy. Like, that would be... Would you take the FIFA Club World Cup seriously? Is there much hype around it? It just seems a little bit kind of forced, to be honest. Like, no one's really asked for this. No one really wanted it whatsoever, but I guess it's just another tournament in the summer we can all look forward... Well, you know, most teams can look forward to. Not everyone, but it is another opportunity for Kainsey to get a piece of silverware. I mean, he'd want to get his hands on anything at this stage, but let's just check out the podium. Let's check out the trophy pageantry whilst we're here. What's it got in store for us? What's it look like? And it's actually just no podium at all whatsoever. It's just the little stand to hold up the trophy. It's happening in the middle of the pitch. It's given off the Community Shield vibes. I've seen the Audi Cup celebrated more than this. Okay, no podium for the Club World Cup, but it is what it is. There's your little overview of the celebration. At least you got the confetti and the pyro cannons at the ready, but yeah, kind of a letdown there. And once you boot up back into the menus, you get the winner's message or the loser's message, depending on which side you're on. You get the nice trophy mini pick, and then that is that. You've got one of two options: either scroll the social media, have a look at the final few posts of the tournament, or just check out the final standings and just reflect upon the whole tournament. And once you end the tournament, you get booted back to the tournament mode menu, where you can then have a look at all the other competitions you can partake in, like the World Cup, where you get that 48 team format. Yeah, we'll touch on this national team side of things a little bit later in the video, but this is just a preview of what you could expect with this tournament mode add-on. You get the 2024 Euros if you want to recreate it or just change it up in FC25, and the proper up-to-date 16-team format Copa America that you can play or simulate whenever you please. I love that little load-up postcard once you launch the tournament. It just gives it so much more flavor and character. I wish it lasted longer. And the next World Cup, just to get you in the mood for the USA, Mexico, and Canada. It's got a nice little photo, and it kind of just sets the tone, sets the atmosphere for what you can expect. Now, if you want to experience the Club World Cup action in your career mode saves, say less, because the Ultra Mod has got you covered. It's by Beta 10 and is a completely different experience. It's constantly getting updates and new features, but this is one of them, and it's a pretty big one. Having this brand new tournament in your career saves can just unlock so many more challenges, so many more trophies to win. To get it loaded up and working properly before you enter a new career save, what you want to do is, of course, go through to the profile section, hit load squads, and then you have to scroll down and find the Ultra Mod squad file, depending on what version you have and have downloaded. But for me, it's the Ultra Mod 1.0 Alpha. We want to load that one up, hit A, and then you're good to go. Of course, you got to make sure you start up your career mode save with a team that's actually involved. Oh, there's a feature I had no idea about. Marcelo Bielsa just chilling here in the national teams international section. So I'll play as him just to show off another feature, but for this, in this case, we want to pick a team that will be there this summer, like a Chelsea, like a Man City. And the best thing about this being is that you've got transfers, you can buy and sell players, you can do this again in 4 years time if you qualify in 2029, and it's just another piece of silverware to add to your trophy cabinet as a manager. So if you want to get to it right away, all you've got to do is simulate your way towards June 2025 at the end of this current season. This is how you know the Ultra Mod is working. You've got that retro FIFA 15 career mode menu background, and if you see that, you know you've installed it properly. But we just want to get to the good stuff. You can actually already see it in the standings section, so if you want to take a look at the tables, hit triangle and see the list of competitions. We've already got the FIFA Club World Cup there, where Chelsea is in a group with Flamengo, Celtic, and Galatasaray, and that's all taking place in this career mode save, which when you think about it is just an insane thing to be happening. They're not going to be adding this competition or feature until like FC26, and even if they do, it's probably just going to be called like the Club Championship or something generic, something boring. So it's nice to know that we can now experience an FC26 feature early. Now, some of the key differences between this Ultra Mod and the previous FCBN tournament mode exclusive, there are some minor details and minor changes which I'll highlight as we've made the final again, this time in career mode, and we're ready for battle this time, not at the San Siro, it's actually in a proper American stadium, so it makes you feel like, you know, the hosts America. We're playing in New Jersey, the Red Bull Arena. I don't know, wait, where's the final happening in real life? It's at MetLife Stadium. It's not in FIFA, it's not in the game, but that's the key difference. This mod gets its stadium assignments correct, so we're actually playing in America, and throughout the tournament you are as well, not just the final. And you can kind of take this any way you want. It's a bit of a bittersweet moment when it comes to the trophy, because we actually do have the proper silverware here, but it's the old Club World Cup trophy, not this new format, not that golden shield looking thing. It's still got the mini photo there, but the actual trophy that the players will lift up, it is taken from the old Club World Cup, now known as the Intercontinental Cup, like we just experienced before, but at least it's not that generic silver ball. So it's kind of positives and negatives. You got to take the bad with the good in these mods. However, we do get an Amazon Prime live TV logo in the top right, and of course the retro Sky Sports scoreboard that I've applied. Why is Barella invisible? Oh, brother, we're coming up against the invisible man Barella in midfield. This is going to be tough. As I was saying, the Sky Sports scoreboard in the top left too, just to give the matchday experience a bit of flavor. Now, what's the trophy celebration giving us? So what can we expect? Are we going to get a podium this time? What have they got up their sleeves? And no podium, no worries. It's just in the middle of the pitch. And okay, this time you just get the retro FIFA Club World Cup trophy. It looks like the Americans and FIFA, they're balling on a budget. No need to spend money on a trophy podium, but at least this time Caicedo is holding it properly and like holding it from the base instead of the invisible handles on the side. So some key differences there. I feel like it's a little bit more of a whole package experience, especially when it's involved in your career mode save, whether you're a manager or a player. You get to see the standings in all the other competitions you're playing in. You get the trophy mini pick right there. I'll just give you a little bit more of a better visual. You can kind of gauge everything going on. And you also get the news and the social media posts about it. You can see it pop up in the menus too, even the trophy and the celebrations. And then you can just go about the rest of the season. 2025, I especially think this one is definitely worth getting and picking up because you get to play it and experience it and, you know, get hyped for this tournament before it even kicks off in real life and have it in career mode before EA get around to actually adding it in properly. And it even pops up in the squad hub when you're taking a look at your players' goals and assists for the season. It has its own separate segment there. FIFA Club World Cup as a competition your team's played in, and wow, okay, Cole Palmer had an absolute ball out there. 6 goals and 6 assists in 7 matches. No doubt the MVP player of the tournament. You're looking at him. It's a bit of a weird one still. What are you guys feeling about it? Let me know in the comments below. Who do you think is going to take it home and win big in the summer in America 1 year before the actual World Cup takes place? And will you be using it in career mode or tournament mode? Do you prefer it actually being in your manager saves, or do you want it as its own separate thing on the side as its own standalone version? But not only does the Ultra Mod come through with some extra tournaments and leagues to play in, it also provides a cheeky little retro overhaul with the icon squads and the classic league. Now once you activate these icon squads, man, you get opened up to a whole new world. In the free agency, they're all just there waiting for you. Even legends that have never been added to FC/FIFA before. There are just pages and pages. Just take a look at this. We've got what, over 20 pages, even more. Whoa, this is crazy. We've got 23 plus pages of free agent legends, icons, heroes, you name a player, they're here in this batch, ready for you to go wild with in career mode, in player career. Just think of all the possibilities and all the save ideas you could pull off. No need to spend money on packs and FC points in Ultimate Team because you've got the legends here at your disposal. We've even got some cult heroes like Anderson from Manchester United back in the day. I believe he even wore this jersey. That's how old he was. I don't even know what he's up to nowadays, but as you can see, the kind of talents we've got on the roster now. Di Stefano for Real Madrid, he's just an absolute icon for them. We've got Beckenbauer back in the game. You've got all the icons that are already in FC25, plus a couple more like Adriano, and better yet, they've got their face scans. They might not have a 2D profile picture, but they've got their head model scanned into the game. We've got the likes of Nelson Dida, the Milan goalkeeper, just a thoroughfare of names, quite the list if you ask me. As we continue to scroll down, we've got the World Cup 2010 hero Diego Forlan, who carried Uruguay on his back. It's just football royalty scrolling through this list. Abbiati, what an, oh my god. If you know, you know. The Italian football heads. You've got Antonio Di Natale as well. Paul Brietna. There's someone here for everyone. It scratches every itch. This icon squad file mod is one of the best, and you should be looking into it. We've got the likes of Eric Abidal as well, Jamie Carragher, some old Premier League and Barclays icons. We've got removed legends from years gone by, like Andreas Breme. Brolin was removed years ago and used to be a legend. We've got Dimitar Berbatov, who's a hero. A couple of them are glitched, so beware, like Marek Hamsik. I don't know, his name just isn't there for some reason. Nevertheless, the Mohawk Magician is joined by the likes of Andrea Barzagli, man. Oh my god, I miss him in the BBC at Juventus, man. This is just Arbeloa, Michaelis, Dudek, Lehmann, Dwight York even. Like, yeah, basically every player that doesn't have a 2D mini pick have been added / created by this mod and is included in the squad file. We've got so many random players like Massimo Ambrosini, ex-Arsenal man, Emmanuel Abue. We've got Finan, some players I'm not even that too aware of, William Gallas, some former Premier League icons and legends towards the bottom of the list like Nicolas Anelka, bro. These names bring back memories. Emmanuel Adebayor, and the face scans are just the cherry on top. Like, I didn't expect this mod to go that far and put that level of detail in. But even for the likes of Wes Brown, used to play for United in like the early to mid 2000s. So these are the kind of players that the mod brings back, not just the mainstream legends. Every tier of former player is represented here. Like I said, you can't go wrong with the Ultra mod, but wait, it gets even better. However, the Classic League squads really spices up the database because basically it removes and replaces the teams out of Ireland. So sorry to all the Irish people watching, but here we have got some fantasy squads, some best classic teams and classic rosters that all get put into one league. And let me just quickly scroll through them. You got some of the biggest clubs in the world: an Arsenal classic squad, Barcelona classic team, a Bayern classic team, Chelsea, Inter, Juve, Liverpool, Man United, again with all their retro logos, all their retro kits, former players and former superstars. It's the ultimate fantasy league where all-time squads get to do battle, and they're in their own league. So better yet, you can either shove them into tournament mode or start up a brand new career mode, which is what we're going to do, because just take a look at these squads, bro. These teams are absolutely cracked. All 5 stars. They all have their biggest and best players from years gone by, different eras combining, different types of players coming together. It really is like the ultimate time machine, like the ultimate mode for proper football fans and just players that want to relive the past and see what these all-time best 11 squads and even best substitutes and reserves can do in one team together. It's just a crazy FIFA experiment ready to happen. Now, these classic teams don't actually replace the clubs that they're representing. Like the Chelsea classic team isn't replaced. Like the Chelsea real squad is still here in the database. It's their own separate league. They're in their own world as we scroll on down to the Republic of Ireland. Now, these all-star teams don't actually replace the clubs they're representing. Like the Arsenal real squad from this season is still here. They're all still battling it out in the Premier League. These legend teams and classic league is in its own separate world. It's in its own league. Again, it's fully replaced Ireland. So we scroll to the Republic of Ireland, and this is where it gets even better, because we now have some all-star managers returning, some retro managers in the mix here, like Del Bosque at Real Madrid. We've got Pep back at Barcelona. Of course, the GOAT, the great Sir Alex Ferguson at United. We've got Fabio Capello managing Milan, Giovanni Trapattoni at Inter. That is a massive throwback there. Of course, you've got to have Arsene Wenger at Arsenal. Bob Paisley is actually taking the reins over Liverpool. That is one for the old heads. I'm not too familiar with Bobby's game, but I'm sure he'll show us here, as we've got Marcello Lippi for Juventus, obviously the 06 Italian World Cup winning manager, and Jose Mourinho is back at the bridge, ready to take Stamford Bridge by storm. We've only got 9 clubs involved, 7 new retro managers added to the mix. I feel like I've got to go with Sir Alex. I've got to go with United in this one, because I just want to feel like United are good again, like we're a giant. Relive the past, relive the glory days, because in the current day, in the present, they're an absolute joke, and we get our nice little own iconic image to open up into the career, which I love. And bam, we're in there taking control of the Manchester United Classic 11, and here is how the league looks in career mode. We've got 9 elite all-star teams doing battle for the Super League title. No, we've got 10. I miscounted clearly. My bad there, though. It's a nice number. It's just 10 teams, the top 10, quality over quantity, and we also have a cup to get involved in. Yeah, and that's just straight to the round 1, I guess. And we also have a cup to get involved with. The Old Irish Cup is now just turned into the Classic 11 Cup, so that's just another piece of silverware. But here is what you've got to look forward to, and I know it's not a real league. It's not authentic. It's just something to have fun with and experiment and just shake up your career mode experience. Try something different. Get amongst it, as every single player has been set to 18, so you could do a full 15-year campaign with this mod alone. The players aren't going to retire. They've reset their careers and they're back hungrier than ever. Just take a look. We've got a young 18-year-old Ronaldo with the OG haircut, that little mullet, back when he first arrived onto the scene at Old Trafford. We've got some old club heroes, legends in the mix, so it's a pretty decent mixed bag, whilst also paying respect to the former greats that once were. And in terms of timing, the league actually starts in February of 2024, begins at the start of the year, and then goes all the way towards, what, June, August, September? Wow, this is a big competition here. Goes all the way to the end of the year. Tail end of November is the last game of the season. And this is just insane. How did we lose 6-1 to Juventus's classic squad? They've got a... Oh, that team must be absolutely insane. How do we do against Arsenal? No, okay, 1-1 draw. Like, so you don't know what you're up against here. These are some absolutely iconic squads. Yeah, Real Madrid probably going to smash us. No, it was only a 2-1 loss, but still, they've got some greats from years gone by. Just look at that team of the week. And once again, mods, PC, FIFA, show why it's elite, show why it's superior, because you can have fun and pull off some crazy storylines, some crazy playthroughs. And like with every single mod I include in my videos, I highly recommend it for all the career mode diehards, for all the football fans. This one's for you, and it's worth it 1000%. You get a sizable roster to work with too, so a lot of effort has gone into this mod and this squad file in general. What, 29 players? That is more than enough to take on what is going to be an extremely demanding league. I'm just sitting back admiring some of these classic kits, bro. They go absolutely hard. Like, this is just picture perfect. I love it, man. This mod goes above and beyond. The perfect retro vibes, the perfect nostalgia. It's what we all need right now. And you can tell the impact that this had on the transfer market too, because these icons, these legends were not afraid of jumping ship and making some big money moves, like Philipp Lahm moving from his one and only Bayern Munich to Real Madrid for £104 million. We've got Ricardo Carvalho moving to Liverpool's OG squad. We also have Michel Salgado, who I have no idea who he is, but he moved to Aston Villa for £94 million, as well as Thibaut Courtois, who hasn't got a face. Like, what is going on here? I've got no idea why he hasn't got a 2D mini picture, but he was at Chelsea, now moved to Real Madrid just like he did in real life. Carles Puyol just does the ultimate dog act, the trader move, and transfers to Real Madrid. Marcel Desailly signs for PSG, headed back to the homelands, and we've just got some more high-profile, iconic moves. We've got Bojan Krkić going from Barcelona's OG retro team to their actual real-life squad. So from Barca to Barca, they're helping each other out. They're helping the club. They're helping out themselves. They're doing themselves a favor. And all these classic icons and legends make up the bulk of these big money transfers, like Nicolas Anelka moving from the all-star Chelsea team to Juventus. We're living in a crazy timeline right here. This is how the Retro Classic League finished up at the end of the season. United down in 9th with 41 points. We have Arsenal rock bottom with 37. As we scroll up the table, it was Juventus to win it all. They absolutely battered us in the first game of the season, so I guess that was early signs of them going all the way. 57 points. Champions by 1 point. Inter's classic squad just behind them with 56, and Barcelona and Real Madrid make up the top 4. But that is a disastrous display from United. But considering the competition you're up against, this could well and truly be the hardest career mode challenge and the hardest save you're ever going to do, because there are no easy games. There are no walks in the park. You're up against it every single match day. And just take a look at the team of the season. We've got Thierry Henry up top, Schneider and Platini in midfield, Robin and Hazard on either side of the wings, and then the back four consisting of Reme, Nesta, Koeman and Dani Alves, and it's icon Petr Cech to finish off being the best goalkeeper of the season. A star-studded team, an elite league, and the player of the season went to R9 Ronaldo at either Inter or Real Madrid. I got to check on it, where he was balling out at Inter rather than Real Madrid or Barcelona or Milan, and that is what the trophy looks like. We've got Gigi Buffon right next to it. It's kind of got that generic EA feel, but yeah, this league has its very own cup/trophy you can win. It's just a custom trophy, nothing real special, but still, at least it's something. It's not that generic silver ball that we've seen a couple of times in this video. There's so much fun to be had here. The potential with this Classic Leagues mod is absolutely insane, as it's actually Victor Valdez to win the Golden Glove and be named the best goalkeeper of the season. I just thought I'd throw you guys something special and just change it up a bit. A little bit of a fantasy/retro type mode. We've had our fun though. Now it's time to get back to these real licensed leagues. Now the next mod that I want to bring to your guys' attention is again by Markov Mods. It's free to download just like his FIFA Intercontinental Cup mod, and that is the license mod for FC25 that unlocks some pretty cool new features and more possibilities that you guys need to see. Where this mod really shines and takes into effect is is the kickoff mode, where you head on over to the cup final section and you're going to see way more different cup finals that you can take part in. For example, we're going to scroll down in the A to G section. We've got the Super Copa de España, not just the Copa del Rey. So you can hop straight into a Super Cup final with any Spanish team of your choosing. We now have the FIFA Intercontinental Cup involved as well. So you could pretty much pick any single team in the world to take place in that, because it's a Club World Cup. So that one's open to pretty much everyone. We have a FIFA World Cup final if you just want to skip the whole tournament and get to the big dance. That's now possible with the licenses mod. And don't you worry, this mod comes locked and loaded and comes in clutch with the actual real world proper World Cup trophy, fully authentic and everything. You love to see it, you really do, and it's just something, another trick you can have up your sleeve with your FC25 game. You can do the exact same thing with the Euros, and there's no doubt about it, the real trophy is there, waiting for you on the podium, ready to lift in all its stunning high-definition shiny glory. However, this is the main selling point of the mod. We've never had this license in FIFA/FC ever in history. It's the Asian Champions League, now rebranded as the AFC Champions League Elite. And this mod makes it possible to play the final between any Asian team you want. Yes, Australian football is considered played in Asia. Yeah, before I get questions about that, but you know, any team from Australia, China, India, Korea, or rest of the world actually. That might just be a glitch because you can only pick one team, but Saudi Arabia of course. And yeah, that's your selection. Oh, just imagine this. CR7 versus Lingardinho in the Asian Champions League final. What timeline are we in here? This one's for all the Asian football fans because, you know, we've been starving. There have been barely any licenses. We've lost the J-League, and the ACO has pretty much always been in Konami and Pez's grasp. So this is the time where we can show it off on the center stage, and my goodness me, we have got a pretty decent broadcast package to go along with it. What you're going to notice straight away though is the trophy is actually in the game, and this is the old trophy, the retro trophy. So the silverware hasn't been updated, but at least you get a little bit of that Asian Champions League feel. I honestly think the old trophy was way better and looked cooler, but hey, that's just me. And then new rebranded logo, you can see there in the top left, that's actually what the trophy is in real life. This is one of my favorite broadcast packages and scoreboards that the FIFA Realism mod adds, and just also the general scoreboard pack mod adds. It's such a cool look. The branding is so cool. The purples, the whites, it just blends together so well. It's got to be my favorite hands down, and now the Asian Champions League is possible. It's in the game, and here we are kicking off in the big dance to decide it all. I'm blushing about it. Don't get me started on how good the scoreboard looks. Anyways, I'm sure Ronaldo's trying to pocket another Champions League, and this is the perfect time to win it because he's never won the Asian Champions League. He's won 5 European Champions Leagues, but if you can't do it in Asia, are you really the GOAT, mate? CR7, let's hope he actually makes a decent push and gets Al Nassr to the final. I also think that it's probably one of the most underrated competitions in world football too. It's gone a little bit of a format change like the main European Champions League has had. So the ACL doesn't really follow that group of 4 structure anymore. It's kind of in its own lane with 2 massive league tables. The trophy, the logo, the branding got switched up too, and one nice little detail that this mod showcases is in the stadium, when you're playing an Asian Champions League game, you're going to see the purple AFC Champions League Elite banner all across the stadium, all the pageantry, all the match day graphics. You can actually see it there on the substitutes bench. I can't really get a good view of it with this new highlighter replay, but you can see there the ad boards as well. It's completely decked out with the ACL branding, the Asian ad boards, and everything you want to complete your match day experience. It's just the up-to-date trophy that we're missing. Otherwise, this would be a perfect package. We can't have it all in life, lads. Trust me, we can't have it all. And considering it's for free, there's nothing really much to lose. It's better than nothing, so we take those. And the trophy celebrations live up to the hype too. I'm happy to report that we actually have a podium this time. We've got the real trophy, even though it's from years gone by. I kind of wish they kept it at this stage, but we've got the nice, properly branded podium, the nice matchday assets, and we have Lingardinho denying Ronaldo of ACL glory. In an Asian Champions League Elite Final exhibition match, we've had it all happen here in this Asian Champions League Final Elite match, and I don't know whether to write this one off. This is kind of in the category for me is like I'm never expecting it to be in an FC game or for EA to grab this license just because of how powerful Konami have this one under their belt. They've had it for decades now, and I don't think they're going to let it go anytime soon considering they're a Japanese country. So the only way the Asian football fans and the career mode heads can enjoy this one is with mods, unfortunately. Just don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling the truth. I'm spitting facts. Unless some minor miracle happens, we're probably never going to see the Asian Champions League fully realized in an FC game. Now I thought, hey, why not? It might not be the most popular, but I thought I might as well throw another rogue mod choice at you guys for you to sink your teeth into, because I'm like 99.9% sure I've got no Lithuanian viewers watching, but I've recently stumbled across a Lithuanian league mod with both the top flight, the Top Sport A Liga, and the Top Sport Pirma Liga, which is the second tier. This free league expansion mod comes with every single Lithuanian club, with fully licensed with all their kits, the proper badges, the proper visuals, and everything you need if you want an in-depth Lithuanian career mode road to glory. Now imagine just taking a second division Lithuanian squad to qualify for the Champions League. Even getting them to qualify for any European competition would be an absolute miracle, because take a look at the ratings of some of these teams. Half a star. Ooh, FK Mininja's got to be up there with the worst. 37 attack, 37 midfield, and 34 defense. This is going to be the worst team on the game, no doubt. You're barely starting with a first team roster. You've got, what, 15 players registered at the club? A 24 rated midfielder. What is going on here? This would be the hardest rebuild, the hardest career mode save to undertake, because you're barely operating with a squad at this point, and that's just the kind of challenges that a Lithuanian career mode would throw at you guys. I know this is extremely niche, but I just want to highlight it, show it off, because this is what separates the casual career mode player from the diehard, from the real ones out there. So this one's for all the hardcore career mode players out there. I ain't gonna lie, these two clubs, I'm not gonna pretend I know how to pronounce their names, but their club logos with the bears, they're up there for me. They both go absolutely hard. And just to top it off, if you want that Lithuanian double, we've also got the national team. That's right, this mod, it comes through with the Lithuanian national team, where you can get them to qualify for their first Euros, their first World Cup, take them on an epic journey in the qualification campaign. And just so you know how much effort has gone into this mod, there is about, what, 6 or 5 Lithuanian players actually available in the base game. The rest of the players that you see with no faces have been added by this mod, given their own ratings, their own metadata, all the right information applied to them, and it's pretty much the no-face gang for the national team. I don't even think their national team pool of players even exists. Like, there wouldn't even be any choice to pick from. Let's take a look. Oh no, you actually do. Clearly I'm mistaken. There are more Lithuanian players in the game that I had no idea about, or this mod has come through with an updated Lithuanian database. Just take a look at all the players you can get to pick from. 25 pages of Lithuanian players in their game. I know for all the 2 Lithuanians watching, this will be the best news of the day, best news of the year. You've not only got the top 2 divisions in the country, but you've also got an entire national team pool of players. We even go down to a 16 overall centre back. Nah, no way. Who is this guy? Eric Kirjanov. At 18 years of age, 16 overall. Bro, I even think I'm better than him. Nah, 6 strength is crazy. What are you made out of? Paper straws? The more you know. Alright, I didn't realize how in-depth this mod went, but for a free mod, it's definitely worth the download and you giving a go. The fun doesn't stop there, because in career mode, the experience gets even deeper, because we have every single top flight and second tier manager licensed and available to start playing as. None of them have real real game face scans, but every single top flight manager has a 2D mini pick. They've all got the right names, all assigned to the right clubs. And right now, for me, this is ticking all the boxes. One of the best things about this mod is that you don't need a separate squad file to activate it. All the teams, all the players, and the national team just come bundled in with this mod once you apply it in your mod manager, which just makes it so convenient, so easy to install. You just plug and play, and every single club have their real stadium name, even though their real stadiums aren't in the game. They're just one of the many EA generics, but at least they've got their name there, and it makes it feel a little bit more real, a little bit more authentic. We've got classics like the Gargzadai Stadium and the Telsiai Central Stadium. Who could forget the Garavlios Adomas Mikaus School Stadium? Just absolute classic, top tier. Now this is where I just fall in love with PC modding, because a league like this wouldn't even dream of featuring in an FC/FIFA game, but here we are. And as evident by the league logos in the background, it has replaced the Indian Super League by the looks of things. Oh no, that might just have been a cutscene glitch, because it looks like the Top Sport A-Liga League logo is in the background of the press conference room, so that's a good sign. Here are how the league standings look. Here's a look at our squad, and goddamn, we're in the trenches right here. This is a first division team, and we've barely got enough to field a starting 11. 14 players on the roster. That is diabolical. The minimum squad size in career mode is like 18, so we're kind of breaking the rules here. I'm getting the vibe that in Lithuania, they play by their own rules. As this is how the league standings look, we've got all the 10 teams in the top flight. Relegation playoffs, we've just got straight up relegation if you finish rock bottom, and then of course the champion spot. It looks like there's 2 UCL qualification spots up for grabs too, so that comes in handy. And we also do have Lithuanian cups to partake in, so the LFF Tour. Let's take a look at it. We have the FA Cup of Lithuania, let's just say, involves both the divisions, and is just another piece of Lithuanian silverware you can battle for. Even though it's probably not the most popular league or highly requested one to have in the game, we do have a promotion and relegation dynamic to work with, as the Prima Liga, as the second tier is also involved with its 10 teams. So this mod has got something over, the Russian, Serbian leagues added, because it has both professional divisions. And I like that touch as well. Pretty much our academy is dominated. It's predominantly Lithuanian talent. We've got a couple of Bolivians. A nice touch that I also can appreciate and love is that our youth academy is predominantly Lithuanian talent. I mean, our best stars are Lithuanian, so that makes the save much more immersive. The league also operates on its own separate calendar. The first game starts up on March 1st, and then the league, I assume, ends all the way at the end of the year. Yeah, in end of November. It doesn't really work alongside the traditional European calendar, which again, just sets it apart from the rest right now. In terms of kit selection, looks like every single club have at home and an away. Nothing extra than that. No third or fourths involved. I didn't think we'd go this far into the depths of Lithuanian football today in this video, but here they are with their 2 kits added to the game. They also get that same treatment. They've got a bit of green and gold FC Nantes Australia vibes about them. It's just a decent selection. Could be updated a little bit more in the future, but on game day, you still get that generic broadcast package, but the scoreboard is fully authentic and fully licensed. You get the Lithuanian League theme in the top left-hand corner. It's got that black and gold kind of branding. It's my kryptonite when it comes to anything football related. Black on gold is just a winner for me, to be honest. And the scoreboard actually looks pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. For Lithuania, I wasn't expecting an aesthetic scoreboard, but here we are. And I've tried to sneak in the cheeky little Sky Sports main event live logo in the top right too, just to put that cherry on top of the matchday broadcast. Now, unfortunately, both the league and cup trophies in Lithuania are generic. We're back again with the cursed silver ball, but it is what it is, really. I wasn't expecting the real trophies to be in this. However, the LFF Tayore Lithuanian Cup, that trophy mini pick, actually looks very classy indeed. Very elegant and majestic, and it's a shame we didn't get to lift it as we lost out in the final 3-1. And the winners of the regular season, the champions FK Panavedidis, and we came through in 6th, avoiding relegation, as it's FK Banger going down to the second tier. And coming up, getting promoted, it's FK Ritteriai and B1 NFA. These just sound like code names, to be honest. It sounds like I'm talking in code saying these names, but those two do get their chance at a first flight berth. In terms of top goal scorers, the top performers, I will bet every penny that I have that none of you watching know who any of these players are. All I'm going to say is use these mods at your own risk, because we've caused a little rift, a little glitch in the system in terms of the major European competitions. For some reason, there can only be one team playing every single game, and just, I mean, it speaks for itself, really. Take a look at these league standings for the Europa League, Champions League, Conference League. Yeah, there's been a glitch in the matrix, people. I don't want to take the blame for it, but I think the Lithuanian league being added might have something to do with it. Nah, bro, 247 points is absolute insanity. Now, with these next league licenses, we're back with the FCBN mods. This isn't the tournament mode exclusive edition. This is the ultimate patch version. That is, I dare say it again, the complete package. This mod is so good, you don't even need a squad file to activate it. You just plot it in your mod manager, apply it to your game, and it is already working straight from the word go, as it comes bundled in with the Brazilian Serie A. Yes, we are back in action again with Brazil, and this time the FCBN mod covers it through this ultimate patch. I know we've already seen it before earlier in the video, but I just wanted to show everything that this specific mod comes with. And the top flight of Brazilian football is here. We also have the Greek Super League involved, which we've already covered, but again, just to showcase how many leagues this mod has to boast about. I was just touching on earlier in that Asian Champions League segment how Japanese football doesn't really get represented in FC25, as the J-League was removed years ago. But with this FCBN Ultimate patch, we get the Meiji Yasuda J1 League back in action, and you can tell because both FC Tokyo, Gamba Osaka have got their new modernized logos. The last time these two teams were in FIFA, they had their old emblems, so you can definitely tell there's been a bit of difference here. A few little rebrands here and there. Last time the J-League was here was probably, what, FIFA 21, I want to say? Every single badge, every single club, every single kit is back in the game, and it's making its EA FC debut, as, again, this license is tied to eFootball and PES at the moment. Oh, that's where Kagawa's gone. Please tell me that's the right Kagawa. Yeah, Shinji. He's over here. I don't even know where he ended up, but he's playing for Cerezo Osaka. The more you know. And just to make the deal that little bit sweeter, we've also got a whole suite of new international teams available and ready to use. 51 new nations in total. I'm going to flick through them quickly because we've got some exploring to do in career mode. Not only do we have all these new nations readily available for us with this mod, but we also have the new World Cup format possible in career mode, the Copa America, the Euros in their updated, rules and competition formats, but also World Cup qualifiers and Euro qualifiers, and I can't wait to show you it. But not only that, it gets deeper. We've got the World Cup qualifiers, we've got Euro qualifiers. This is how it's meant to be. I feel so powerful with this in my possession, man. This is how it's meant to be. You console players are missing out on the entire international management experience. This mod is crazy powerful and is one of the best out there, so I, again, highly recommend it. If you want that authentic process of actually qualifying a team for a major tournament, in order to get the ball rolling, let's just kick it off in the Japanese first tier, and these are all the managers available and that you can actually take control over. Of course, like we're used to at this point, we've got the official match ball for the J-League. This mod doesn't skip a beat as we enter into career mode with it. Here is how the standings look back in action. Man, it's been a while. All 20 teams are here. No J-League 2, unfortunately, so no promotion relegation. And as you can tell by the table, if you get into the top 2, Asian Champions League football awaits you. The elite tier of the competition anyways, because that's now possible in career mode. This mod actually goes above and beyond, I swear, man, it's crazy. The J-League actually finishes up around December time, so we're starting this at the start of 2024, January 2024 to be precise. Now here's how the J-League season panned out, just so you can get a picture, just so you can get a vibe at who are the dominant teams, who are the teams towards the lower end, as we finished up in 16th with Sagan Tosu, FC Tokyo, Gamba Osaka, and Sapporo all finishing in the bottom 3 and taking home the title. It's Iniesta's old club, Vissel Kobe. I believe Podolski still plays for them or something. As they take home the Japanese League title, we have Segawa as the top goal scorer for Kawasaki Frontale with 21 goals. goals. Joseph Boateng, a regen, a pre-gen even, at Vissel Kobe with 18 goals. Shinji Kagawa netting 14, showing that he's still got it. We've got the Aussie World Cup legend Mitch Duke cracking the top 10 with 13 goals. And in terms of assists, no real names that I recognise. As the J1 League team of the season has been announced, those are the stars of the campaign. No real marquee foreign players that I can recognise. As the player of the year goes to that regen, and then the trophy, unfortunately, the authentic trophy isn't in this mod. We get that silver ball generic treatment again. And here's the Brazilian top flight fully fleshed out in career mode, the Brasileiro Serie A. All the 20 teams are here, fully licensed with all their kits, all their badges. And that little calendar league branding it gets on match day is absolutely top class. It's giving me like 2014 World Cup vibes just looking at it. And in a similar situation to the J League, it is just throughout the year, finishes up around mid-December. And with this mod installed, you can play out the 2024 season. Basically, you can replay the campaign that's just gone by. And the best thing about having the Brazilian League back is that we get the real proper players. Back in the day when the Serie A was in FIFA, you wouldn't get any of the real players or all fake players with made up names. But with this mod, it changes things, because in the top goal scorers, you've got Hulk at Atletico Mineiro with 13 goals. We've got Diego Costa at Grêmio with 13. Memphis Depay recently moved to Corinthians this year. He's netted 12. Paulinho, the ex-Wonder Kid from Bayer Leverkusen, he's killing it in the homeland with 11 goals. And the list goes on and on and on. We've got the former Juventus and Frosinone player, Caio Jorge for Cruzeiro. 10 goals for him. A lot of players who have played in Europe before, like Martin Branthwaite and Alex Teixeira. You never know who you're going to bump into or what kind of player you'll see in the Brazilian first tier. We've got Fernandinho even. I thought this guy retired, but no, he just left Man City, and then I haven't thought about him since, but he's still back here in the homelands, killing it, as well as Bernard at Atletico Mineiro. We've got Alexandro, who hasn't retired yet and left Juve after like 10 years. Here's how the league standings wrapped up though. We've got Palmeiras sitting in 10th, bang average, bang in the middle. And towards the top of the table, we've got Flamengo taking it home, champions with 86 points. Sao Paulo, Fluminense, and Botafogo make up the top 4. Now with the Brazilian silverware situation, it's a generic trophy still, but it's not that silver ball. So, you know, thank the Lord that we don't have to look at that silver ball anymore. It's one of those EA branded tournament mode trophies, but hey, it's better. Look, anything's better than that silver ball at the end of the day. No real trophy, unfortunately, but there's your team of the season. And it's just so satisfying seeing that logo, seeing the league back in the game. And without a doubt, this is the most requested league to have back in the game. So I'm chuffed that these mods get to really show off and show everyone what they're capable of, because nothing is impossible here with PC modding, people. Now let's take a look at some international qualifiers. The South American qualifiers are up first, so let's take the helm of Brazil now that we've got it back in the game. It's the perfect time to take the Seleção to the top, and you know, we've got considering there's no Copa America qualifiers, we need to take a look at the situation in terms of qualifying, and there you go, the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, CNBL. I mean, it's all good right now. We're sitting in first with a pretty comfy 5-point cushion. We're chilling, life's good. The 2026 World Cup should be in the bag already, or at least qualification, but it just provides that extra level of depth, having the qualifiers in there and making sure your international management experience is taken care of. The matches just pop up in the calendar normally as CONMEBOL qualifiers, instead of having those useless international friendlies that you don't really take seriously. It makes every single international game and international break worth it, and you know, there's a bit of stake, there's a bit on the line, and you can already see the top goal scorers charts start to arrive. Now let's check up on the European World Cup qualifiers and check in with a team that's not necessarily a world superpower. Let's check in to see how Belarus's qualification campaign is going down in Europe. Just because we can, why not? We've got our Belarus squad selection for the UEFA qualifiers coming up, the World Cup qualifiers in 2026, and yeah, that's how many Belarusian players are actually in the game. We've got a total of 1 player to pick from in the national pool. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this qualification campaign might be cooked from the jump, but we're gonna try our best and see what we've got going on here, because the first game of qualification is a matchup against France. Just perfect. You wouldn't want an easier opponent. This is the first match day as well, but for some reason I can't actually click in to the table to see who we're up against, but it's just the group stage format. When I click into the UEFA qualifiers, it just takes me to the J1 league standings, and that's all I have to pick from. Same goes for the top goal scorer stats and assists, like the leaderboards. I can see that Lukaku's winning the race so far, but I don't get to select it once I actually click into the menu. So that's a slight issue with the mod, but that's the group. We've got Georgia, France, and the Czech Republic to battle it out with. And I'm not gonna lie, their kits are quite funky. I'll give it to the Belarusians there. They know how to design a banger home kit. And these qualifiers for 2026 actually start in like September 2024, so you could be building up to this for like over a year and a half. And again, it's a way better system than having those international friendlies and those international breaks and games that you don't really care about. And then once you make it to a World Cup in your save June 2026, you could see it fully unfold. Whether you're managing a team or not, it is the proper 48 team World Cup format, the new expanded competition that they're trialing out and experimenting with in 2026. It's still all groups of 4. It hasn't followed in that Champions League format. However, it goes down all the way to Group L. The 48 teams, they're all here, they're all qualified. You've got teams like Australia back in the game. The 48 teams, they're all here, they're all qualified. You've even got nations like Uzbekistan. Iraq have made it. We've got, you know, the likes of Algeria, Saudi Arabia, Slovakia, the UAE. We could see a multitude of underdog stories taking place in the USA, Mexico, and Canada next summer. And trust me, I think it's going to live up to the hype. Let's leave it up to the simulation gods. Who do they think is going to take home the 2026 World Cup? And according to this save, it is going to be an all South American final where Brazil take down Colombia 2-1. They looked good in the qualifiers. They had a stellar run. They were comfortably in first. And it looks like that form has translated to the World Cup stage. In third place, we've got England taking it home against Morocco with a 2-1 win. They fall short in the semi-finals to the eventual champions. Football ain't coming home in 2026, people. But what I find interesting is that we're going to have a round of 32 in the World Cup for the first time ever. Were there any fairy tale runs? I mean, we've got Cameroon, Morocco making it. I mean, yeah, Morocco and Colombia making it to the semi-finals is pretty cool to see. Ukraine had a quarterfinals berth. Turkey with just eliminated to Brazil on penalties. And who went home in the group early? Argentina, rock bottom. So the champions curse continues in 2026. Messi going from hero to zero, not even qualifying for the next round after they won their third world title in 2022. Who else had a terrible campaign? I mean, pretty much all the big favorites performed well. Italy topped the group, so that's good signs. Denmark finishing rock bottom just like in 2022. I still can't believe Argentina, bro. They absolutely flopped. They tanked in a pretty easy group with Sweden, Ivory Coast, UAE. No disrespect. But I ain't gonna lie, it's always fun seeing some upsets in the World Cup. And there you go, Vinicius Jr. Surely now that's enough to win him the Ballon d'Or. He gets to carry his country to a World Cup final and take the biggest prize home. We've got the real trophy there. This mod provides you with that. And the team of the tournament, it's Richarlison up front with Cucho Hernandez, Bellingham and Pepe in midfield, Rafinha and Luis Diaz on the wings. Meanwhile, we've got Vanderson, Militao, Theo Hernandez, and Davinson Sanchez, whilst Pickford is the goalkeeper of the tournament. Who won the Golden Boot? Cucho Hernandez. Whoa, what a run. 5 goals in 6 games to take his nation to the final. Meanwhile, Daniel Milan, Openda, Okafor, and Florian Wirtz, Mbappe, Barcola. Oh my god, there's so many players tied on 4 goals that they make up the entire top 10. That is crazy. Colombia with an insane dark horse run. They couldn't complete the fairy tale though, as it was Edison with 5 clean sheets. Why wasn't he in the team of the tournament? That just doesn't make sense. And just to reiterate, the same treatment gets shown to the Euros, where the updated format, 4 groups, 6 groups of 4, the extended 24 team tournament that has been taking place since 2016, but it's prominent to show because EA never bothered updating it in career mode. They just kept it that same 16 team format, which was outdated back in 2012. So the international managers keep taking W's with this one, and I've got to show this one. I highlighted it before, but with the FCBN mod, you also get the AFC Champions League Elites in career mode, not just the final in that kickoff tournament. Unfortunately, it's not the updated format, but it's got the proper branding. It's got the league logo. We've got the scoreboard broadcast package. Unfortunately, it's just a little bit outdated with how it's grouped. Like, this is not how it works anymore. Nevertheless, we got to check in on the silverware, and there you go. That is the updated ACL trophy. It's an all Saudi Arabian final with Al Hilal taking on Al Ali, and that's what they're competing for. It's a little bit more modernized. It's a very sleek design in the trophy mini pick, but again, we are cursed with the retro trophy and the Retro League logo imprinted on it. But hey, I'll take that any day over a generic silver ball, as it was a 5-goal thriller. Al Ahly, the champions of Asia, with a 3-2 win. Now, I know the Brazilian League has been a major focal point of this video, included and bundled in with so many of the mods that I've showcased today, but here is one that stands on its own, and it offers something that the rest can't deliver on, and it is a 2025 season refresh with all the promoted teams, all the transfers, all the new players, all the new teams, and that is by the legends over at IM Studio. They've provided some more Brazilian mods with both the core mod and the 2025 season squad file, and trust me on this one, lads, there is a lot of content here to unpack. Instantly, once you boot up the game, you already feel like you're being transported to the favelas. Got a nice green background, this little, little translucent green to set the vibe and set the mood as you're about to experience the ultimate Brazilian football mod. Unlike the Lithuanian League mod, you have to go into your settings and hit upload squads to make sure that you activate the 2025 new Brazilian teams. After you've done installing, you want to scroll your way down to Brazil Mod 41, 9th of February, click that. No issues, the squad file should be compatible, but I just like saving my squads sometimes just to make sure 1000%. That's why you see this Brazil 2025 squads, just to make it a bit clearer. I don't know, that's just a me thing, but let's dive into what makes this Brazilian mod so special. As we go on over, we have the Brazil Serie A ready and updated for 2025. This is the money shot. This is what we wanted to see. The promoted teams like Santos, Ceará SC, Mirassol, and Sport Recife. Those are the 4 promoted clubs, and you heard it right, Santos. That can only mean one thing. We've got Neymar Jr. back in the game. He's no longer deleted from the database. You've got him right there. An updated 2D mini pick just to top it off. He's made a hometown return, and the Prince is back, just like so many other real-world players that have moved to the Brazilian League in the past 12 months. I'm talking about former Barclays Premier League icons like Dimitri Payet and Felipe Coutinho have both moved to Vasco da Gama. 2 major removals from the database that really hit you in the feels. What about the veteran now, Thiago Silva, who's back in the homelands at Fluminense? And like I said, the best thing about these mods is that these are the real players on their real teams. Usually when the Brazilian League is in FIFA, the players all have fake names. It's got something to do with their image rights, but this free mod completely bypasses that issue, so you've got nothing to worry about in that regard. When he's not busy tearing things up in Marvel movies, we've got Hulk still kicking it about, still having cheating and marriage scandals here at Atletico Mineiro, a player that I've just completely forgot about existing, but he's still kicking on. He hasn't hung up the boots yet. And how can you forget Andre Carrillo, Memphis Depay at Corinthians? The list goes on and on. We have fully updated rosters and transfers for the 2025 season, but one of my favorite features with this mod is that it comes with some brilliant custom head scans and faces for pretty much every 5 players at least in every Brazilian team. The more you look into it, the more random crossovers you never expect to see, like Jamal Lewis and Oscar at Sao Paulo. This is just a treasure trove of players I've never expected to see again back in the game, but here we are. And some of the custom faces actually live up to the hype. They're on par and they look pretty good. If you're looking to manage Neymar or play the last few years of his career, there are a few of his teammates that get the face scan love. There are a couple of his teammates that get that face scanned love, like Kevison. Jefferson Soteldo has one of the most interesting neck tattoos I've ever seen. A very brave choice there with the bunny. Jé Cunha's in there with a bit of flair as he's rocking the eyebrow slit. How is that not in the game yet? The Brazilian modders are a different breed, I swear, man. They are working overtime out here. No matter what team you play with in the top flight, you're bound to see some interesting players. A mixture of real-life head scans like Felipe Anderson, who's been officially captured by EA, and some custom ones that get sprinkled in there and thrown into the mix, and it really catches you off guard. Yeah, Palmeiras is absolutely stacked. They get shown that epic treatment here. We've even got Estevão Willian. The next big thing out of Brazil was already confirmed to move to Chelsea, but right now he is still at Palmeiras in 2025. Internacional is just Unk FC right here with both Borre and Ana Valencia up top. They've also got former Man City player Fernando. He's still kicking about. Nah, Gremio, I wasn't familiar with your game. Martin Braithwaite in the big year of 2025. I am impressed. This is what you're missing out on consoles, the full Brazilian experience. And it's just a shame, really, because Brazil is one of the most passionate and football-obsessed countries in the world. Thomas Pochettino, is that Mauricio's son? I don't even know Poch had a son, let alone playing football for Fortaleza. When you're playing with the big boys and the big teams of the division, they are usually decked out with some of the most face scans on the roster. That's just how it is, even though most players have updated 2D mini pics. That's something else to consider, and just the extra effort shown in this free mod is incredible. Oh my days, Flamengo is literally flat out. Look at this team, bro. Gonzalo Plata, that's where the old wonder kid went. It's just like, once they get removed from FIFA, you kind of like, I don't know, you kind of just forget about them for a while until they pop up again, either in game or on the timeline. Just taking a deep dive into some of these clubs, it makes me want to do a Brazilian career mode now. I'm just itching to manage or play in South America, and this Cruzeiro team, they've got Gabigol, Gabriel Barbosa's here, you've got the Arsenal loanee Marquinhos, Lucas Silva, that FIFA 16 wonder kid. If you know, you know. Real Madrid just bought him out of the blue, and nothing really happened with his career. They've got Lucas Romero, another OG wonder kid, bro. This is bringing back some memories. Matthias Enrique, Matthias Pereira, who was tearing it up at West Brom in the Prem once upon a time. Caio George, like, Cruzeiro has just got a ragtag team. They're interesting me the most. Nah, bro. Yannick Balassi, mind blown. But what more can I say? We are missing out on some of the favela's finest. These Brazilian talents, these hidden gems. EA, my brother in Christ, get these licenses back ASAP. I've got to show you guys the 2024 champions, Botafogo, who are defending their crown in 2025. And has provided us with some more interesting neck tattoos to analyze from these players. We've got a diamond shining on Igor Jesus. Somebody get Nashkimento down to the barbershop. He needs to be sorted out with a fresh cut ASAP. Why is Willie and Jose so tiny compared to everyone else? Like, what's going on there? This minor error and the glitch of Kaki having the head of Dennis Bergkamp, those are the only two glitches I've found. Otherwise, I'm happy to report that it's a very solid mod. Atletico Mineiro get dealt a decent hand too. Like, they get treated to some decent face scans, and this one's my favorite, Gustavo Scarpa. He's just so unserious, bro. Why is he doing that in his 2D profile pic? He's just out here having a laugh. He just looks like the class clown. Not just the players, but the manager roster also gets updated with all the new appointments, all the new head coaches added to the league. Unfortunately, there are no face scanned managers. Unlike the players, they don't get that same treatment. And it's become standard procedure at this point that every single team get their real world stadium name added, despite them just having an EA generic stadium, like both Flamengo and Fluminense playing at the Maracanã. It's just a nice realistic touch that you'll notice upon playthrough, and it just feels authentic. Now, I know what it looks like. The promoted teams don't have their kits in the game because of the glitched out mini pics, but that isn't the case. They might be blank when they appear in the menus, but I can confirm that their kits are here and ready to select. I've got to say, probably one thing I'm not too crazy about in Brazilian football is just the abuse, the overuse of sponsors on kits, man. Like, Palmeiras do it well. They've got the right idea. But are you telling me Neymar has to go back and wear a glorified billboard? But are you telling me that Neymar has to go back to the league wearing a glorified billboard every week? It's just shameless, but I guess they got to go get the bag somehow. The mod also treats you to the updated Brazilian League match ball, which looks absolutely impeccable. I can't lie, I'm a fan, and the sooner we get Brazilian football back in the base game, the better. Now, here is how the updated league standings look with this mod and these squads applied. At the end of the season, you can see Santos up in 12th, so they've survived with Neymar. He's carried them to safety. Meanwhile, both promoted clubs, the other two promoted clubs, Ceará SC and Mirassol, are headed straight back down. Even though we don't have the Serie B in here, they would technically get relegated as Sport Recife up in 7th, the best out of the promoted clubs. Botafogo couldn't defend and reclaim their league title, as it looks like Palmeiras will go on to win it all. The Memphis Depay-led Corinthians won out the Copa Sudamericana against Racing Club 2-1, and then over in the Copa Libertadores, it was Palmeiras to win another nail-biter 2-1 against River in the final. With your top goal scorers, the Golden Boot winner is Pedro for Flamengo, netting 22 times, and Valencia is running back the clock with 17 goals this season, and Martin Braithwaite makes his way into the top 5 as as it's Oscar slotting in there, sliding in sneaky with 13, and Neymar got himself 12 goals at Santos for the reunion. Better than nothing. At least he wasn't injured for the entire season, as it was Felipe Anderson, Memphis Depay, and Neymar all up in the assist charts. The Brazilian green theme from the menu also transcends into the calendar on match day. Now, where this mod really shines for me and just shows off all of its graphical capabilities is on match day, where no matter what team you're facing or managing, as every team have been assigned and assorted with their own custom banners and fan scarves and flags in the stands. It does not disappoint, that's for sure. You can already see it from the startup cutscenes what we're about to walk into. The fans are ready, the teams are ready, and they are making themselves such a great atmosphere here. We're walking into the Palmeiras cauldron. You can see the custom banners, so much character and unique flavor showing off in the stands. It makes every game you play actually feel special. Even the away fans have brought some of their own magical banners along. And to be honest, it really shows off the essence of Brazilian football culture, and it just gives you a glimpse into how passionate and crazy the fans are. Even the away end and the away day scenes get captured perfectly, and this is just one game in one stadium. Not only in manager, player, career, and kickoff you can use these Brazilian teams, but in tournament mode they get their very own league slot. You just head on over to domestic tournaments, click on men's leagues, and go straight to the very end. Just hit left on your D-pad, and there you go. The Brazilian Serie A is there, ready for you to participate in. I didn't realize it was that young. I only started up in 2003. As you can see, you can use pretty much any team. All the newly promoted clubs are in here in this tournament mode, so it's just another cool way you can experience Brazil's top flight. Unfortunately though, unlike all of these other leagues, they actually have their trophies in the game. However, like Korea, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Brazil doesn't have the proper real life trophy. Hopefully that gets added and modded in the future. The squad file also adds some interesting fantasy teams to the rest of world category, kind of in that realm of an MLS All-Stars or Soccer Aid team. We have first up the Russian Premier League All-Stars and Talents. This squad combining to be a 4-star outfit, 77 attack, 77 midfield, and 76 defense. I mean, feel free. You can use them in career mode, or you could just play around with them in kickoff and tournaments. But here are some of the best players and biggest talents. But here are some of the best players combining into one starting 11, one whole unit. It's actually a pretty deep roster. Wow, there's got so many players here. Some of the best that the RPL has to offer. Oh my days, bro. We've got Luis Enrique and Ezequiel Barco hanging in the depths of the Russian Premier League All-Stars. Like, you never know who you're going to find over here. And joining them, we have the relegated Atletico PR, who have Fernandinho as their captain, and the one that's probably going to interest you guys the most is the Liga MX Mexican League All-Stars. And by the looks of things, it just looks like James Rodriguez plus the Mexican national team combined. Oh no, we do have the Argentine winger Ocampos starting, so there are some South American cameos involved, but it is predominantly Mexican. There are no signs of Sergio Ramos in this squad, so the rosters need to be updated again, but we've got the likes of the Argentine wonder kid Luca Romero, or the Mexican free agents we're used to like Ruiz and Alvarado. We've also got Carlos Vega down here, Diego Lainez. And don't lie, we've all signed them once in a career mode save before, but the big return here is James Rodriguez and Ocampos. Now we'll have a look, of course we'll have a look. Let's take a gaze at what these kits look like. Russian Premier League All-Stars, they've gone pretty basic with it. Nothing that stands out in particular. It's just a blue and white Puma shirt. Meanwhile, the Liga MX All-Stars kind of got that Mexico national team kit vibe. The mini kits don't match. They're off. They're wrong. But these seem like two pretty fun exhibition squads to have in the database. That's caught me off guard, and it's definitely not something that I was expecting coming from a Brazilian focus mod. Now, believe it or not, there was another mod expansion patch that I was planning on including in this video, but I haven't been able to because it hasn't been released to the public yet. And that is the ACU patch that adds 10 new leagues to the game, which includes leagues we haven't covered today, like the Czech tier, the Croatian top flight, the Qatari Stars League, the Ukrainian top division, the BetClick 1 Liga, the Polish second tier, and the ADNOC Pro League, which is the top flight for the United Arab Emirates. So it's a big package. It promises a lot, so I'm very keen to get my hands on it in the near future. future. Because like, look at some of the previews. We've got some flares, some pyrotechnics popping off in the crowd to create the ultimate atmosphere. And it would go absolutely off in the crowds. You can see all the custom banners, the flags, the flares to really encapsulate that proper fan experience and atmosphere. It's completely popping off. And I can't wait to see this one drop. They also have a whole range of other new features to go alongside those 10 new leagues in the game, like the flamethrower cannons and fan smoke flares I've already mentioned. Some ultra groups are even going to be represented in the mod patch too, so I'm very much looking forward to it. Let me know down below, because this one might need its whole own dedicated video about it. That's how much content is jam-packed in here. So keep your eyes peeled for the ACU patch, because I am informed there will be a free version and a paid version, so everyone can play with it. Now, unfortunately, out of all the leagues you've seen me add in today and all the separate mods that I've used, the only downside is that you can't combine these all together and create like the ultimate database. You can't merge the mods together and have all these players, all these teams and leagues just in one career mode save. You kind of have to use them all separately and just decide which teams and which leagues you want to play with upon installation. And then once you figure that out, you can apply your mods to your mod manager accordingly and play with whatever you've downloaded and have fun to your heart's content. Play with whatever teams and leagues you've downloaded, which, look, besides the random bugs, glitches and crashes you might experience with some of these, that is the only negative I can think of. I think it covers a lot of areas. If you want the niche leagues covered, we've got you there. If you want the full package and multiple new leagues added to your database, we've got some mods for you. Some are paid, some are free. I've showcased their full power to you lot today, so go ahead, take your pick. In my eyes, whether they're paid or free, these modders are single-handedly saving the football gaming industry as we speak, and they deserve all the love and appreciation they get. So make sure you send some love their way. Go out and support these mods, because without them, without this PC modding sphere, we wouldn't be having fun and playing with all these new teams. We'd be still stuck with the base game and the minimal database without any new leagues, new competitions, new licenses or anything. And trust me, I don't want to live in that world. I don't want to live in that timeline. As always, the links will be left down in the description for any of the mods you want to pick out and play. I'll leave the timestamps listed as well, just so it's easy for you guys to follow along throughout the video. And whilst you're there, you might as well drop it a like down below if you've made it this far and you did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the content coming out at ya. Turn on the bell so you get notified, and drop a comment. What leagues and what new licenses do you want to see EA add to FC26 and beyond? Make sure you hit me up and follow me on all my social medias. I'm trying to grow my TikTok to 10k, so a follow over there will be much appreciated. And as always, I've been your boy Sir BCHD. Have a great day, take care, happy modding, and I'll catch you lot in the very next video. Bye bye.